Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Wrestling Conversation. Tonight, we'll look at Mid-South Wrestling. We'll talk professional wrestling. There's no telling what we'll talk about tonight. But as always, Jack Lord, Rodney West, Brent West with you, talking professional wrestling. Rodney, let's go ahead and start this out. Let's talk about Mid-South Wrestling. I believe this is episode 285.
285 originally aired February 21st, 1985. It opens the program with Jim Ross and Joel Watts, Mr. Personality himself, on the program. And a replay of last week with the Kamala against Reed, where Steve Dr. Death Williams uses that the forearm back pad, approved, of course, by Jim Ross. It's all Jim Ross's fault. Jim Ross approved this, and, of course, he used it on Terry Taylor. He used it on Jim Duggan. And then, of course, Kamala tries to come off the top rope, which will be something that they will do later on as this progresses. Then match number one has the Nature Boy, Buddy Landale, facing Butch Reed. And, of course, Butch Reed winning that one. Nobody knew that was coming with the forearm versus Buddy Landale. Then we go to the video of the Tulsa Boys Home presentation to Butch Reed in Tulsa. Again, it's Joel Watts making the presentation. He was very well dressed in this. If I was him, he was probably right after the match is going to be cleaning up the building. After this match, it's the Dirty White Boys, Lyndon Tony Anthony versus Tom Pritchard and Private Terry Daniels. Pritchard was on in this one. I absolutely love the chops between Lynn Denton and Tom Pritchard. In the end, though, is Tom Pritchard getting the hair pull at the in the back from the outside of the ring. Then it's the double Russian leg sweep into the fall-away slam. Lynn Denton pinning Tom Pritchard in that one. Then we move on to the Best Dressed Man in Mid-South contest. Now, let me just tell you, I did not like it then, and I didn't like it in the replay that we watched as well. This time, Ted DiBiase in a rematch against Jim Duggan in the Best Dressed Man contest, and this time it was going to be electronically, what would you say it, electronic response to make sure we get the proper judgment, the proper gauge of the crowd of who exactly wins between Ted DiBiase and Jim Duggan. And I will tell you right now, I'm with DiBiase on this. Mr. Ross did prompt those people. He did tell them what to do. It was the greatest coach job I was right with DiBiase all the way up until the fact that for whatever reason, Jim Duggan parks his car right next to the TV truck outside, to which Ted DiBiase takes a ball bat to. And yeah, all right. Anyway, Jim Ross and Joel Watts comes back. They talk about the car vandalism on the outside. If I was him, I would already call the police. But anyway, match number two has Paul Brown and the Blue Demon. Blue Demon looks very familiar in this one, facing Terry Taylor and the Iceman King Parsons. Right before the match starts, Jake the Snake Roberts comes in to accost Terry Taylor on why he's able to wrestle this match this week, but he couldn't wrestle him last week. What's the problem, Terry? Here last week. Well, I got hurt. I've already got this match already signed. But again, Terry Taylor obviously wearing the jacket to cover up the yellow stripe that runs down his back, unable to face Jake Roberts on television. It really, honestly, this whole thing made Terry Taylor look bad. That's my opinion. In the end, though, Jake gets out of there. And, of course, Taylor's in there telling him anytime, any place. Well, if it's anytime, any place, then why not now? That's what I'm saying. Anyway, his Taylor.
Bill Dudley didn't book it that way.
Well, apparently not. But anyway, so his in the end, is Iceman King Parsons catching Brown with a clothesline. Of course, Taylor and Iceman King Parsons is the winner. You would have thought at this time would have been an opportunity for Terry Taylor to show that anytime, any place meant right then against Jake Roberts. But no, apparently not. Apparently not. We're waiting for the arena match, I'm assuming. Next match number 3 is for the Mid-South Tag Team Championship. This time, it's not two referees. It's the Guerreros, Chavo and Hector against the Rock and Roll Express. And this thing was just fantastic. I loved this match. Chavo in the end, he nails the referee to stop the pin. It's a double. They double up on the Rock and Roll Express. Chavo and Hector gets Ricky Morton in the double surfboard, and when he has him up, Fergie's in for the count, counts the Chavo's shoulders to the mat, 1, 2, 3, and the Rock and Roll Express win the match and retain the Mid-South Tag Team Championship. And of course, next week on the program will be Gino Hernandez and Kerry Von Erich. And of course, they end the program with a video of the Rock and Roll Express.
Jack, what's the good, bad, and ugly on Mid-South Wrestling episode 285 in your opinion?
I'm going to be honest. As I've stated several times, the Carreros, I love those guys. I think they're extremely talented. I just never cared for them as a tag team for whatever reason. It just didn't click for me. This match, though, I rewound that finish 4 times to watch it. It was brilliant, and it was executed so well. And then in the way they put it over, after they got beat, it just made it even better. All in all, this was not a bad show. We got to see some great stuff. Got to see Tom Pritchard. Tom Pritchard was on fire. He had a punching dummy in there with him as a tag team partner, unfortunately, but
that's Terry Daniels.
Yeah, well, I think we should put him in the category of the Billy Graham gimmick that we do not speak of. It's a good show, though. Really good show overall.
I have to say the bad was Buddy Landell, Butch Reed. That match went nowhere. Oh, man. It could have been really good. You could tell Landell was losing all his it was time for him to leave.
Yeah.
People didn't care that he was getting beat up. People didn't care nothing about it. The good was Dirty White Boys against Tom Pritchard and Terry Daniels. I thought Tom Pritchard, man, he was so good. Also, I did like when Teddy DiBiase did bust the windshield. I didn't like the whole way they did it, but I thought you did a really good job of busting that window because he busted it pretty good. And the Jake Roberts was great, challenging Terry Taylor. Jake Roberts, just great. And then I'm with y'all. The Rock and Roll Guerrero finish, that was tremendous. That was just tremendous. I don't know who come up with that. I'm thinking maybe the Guerreros come up with that one.
Pretty sure they did. It was great though. I've never seen it since then.
No,
you'd have thought somebody would have been stealing that quite a bit over the years, but I don't think I ever saw it again.
I don't think so. It was great though. I thought it was funny when all 3 referees was out during the, and I guess they were watching a monitor and Dad was Ronnie West, by the way, he was doing his pantomime, so everybody
right to see the crowd response. But I will say Jim Ross did prompt that crowd. There's no doubt about it. He prompted that crowd right there.
And also, that is the very beginning of fake news. That's where it came from.
That's right. He prompted those people, and he also approved the forearm pad of Steve Williams. Bill Watts said so.
This was a great episode of Mid-South Wrestling, though. There's a lot of good stuff there, and really and truly, stay tuned. Jake the Snake Roberts becomes a huge player in Mid-South Wrestling. If you enjoyed this episode, give us the big thumbs up and subscribe to the page if you haven't already done so, and do take one step further. And that's hit that notification bell, as it'll tell you every time we upload a video, and especially when on Mid-South Wrestling. All right, guys, anything we need to talk about before we get to and I believe there is one thing that we need to talk about. And Jack, I'm going to let you tell about the Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame.
Yeah, the Professional Wrestling Hall of Fame in Wichita Falls, Texas, May the 13th through the 15th. This is an event strictly for those who are inside the business. This is the most prestigious Hall of Fame for professional wrestling in the world. It's the only brick and mortar. It's a 2-story actual museum. And one of the inductees this year is Ron West. And we're all going to try to get out there and be a part of that ceremony and make a big week out of it, do some interviews, have some fun, drink a few Coca-Colas while we're there. But, we're grateful to the Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame, for everything that they do to preserve the history of professional wrestling, which is what we try to do here.
But also, I believe the Rock and Roll Express is going to be.
Rock and Roll Express, Tony Atlas, Tommy Rich, several other inductees coming in this year.
Wow.
It'll be a great couple of days, and we are as long as stuff that's going on right now is over with by then we're all going to be there.
Let me give you a quick run. This is I didn't pull my list up. This is the entire class that's going in this year. The Pioneer Awards are going to Man Mountain Dean and Paul Bowser. The TV Era Awards go to Jose Lothario and Tiger Conway Sr. The Modern Area, Tony Atlas and Tommy Rich. The Women, the well-deserved Judy Martin and Juanita Kaufman. International goes to Leo Burke. The Executive goes to famed Northwest promoter Don Owens. Tag Team, Rock and Roll Express. The Territory Era, Skandar Akbar and referee Ronnie West.
And we certainly do appreciate that. We certainly appreciate the Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame for recognizing our father. And so we will be getting out there. We're going to have a good time for those 3 days. Do they have any wrestling events during that time, Jack?
They're working on that. It's just according to what the COVID restrictions are at the time. Usually what they'll do is they have something on Thursday night, Friday night. They actually, the city cordons off the entire street in front of the Hall of Fame. They set a ring up in the middle of the street, and then it's just free wrestling for anybody that wants to come. They usually have a huge turnout for that. And then Saturday night is the actual formal induction ceremony. And then we all eat breakfast Sunday morning, and we head home.
All right, sounds really good, and we'll tell everybody a little bit more about that as it gets closer. All right, let's go now, and let's see what all the insiders have got to say on this show and in this Mid-South Wrestling show we just talked about. Glenn Shelton, good evening, Glenn. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. James Casey, howdy, folks. Michael Barr is with us. Hello from Southeast Alabama. Dr. Phil Bogrice, one of our supporters. Good evening, distinguished gentlemen. Good evening to you. Evidently, Ted DiBiase's birthday today.
Hey,
Miss Ted.
Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man. Richard Hood said, Happy Martin Luther King Day. Happy Martin Luther King Day to everyone. Dan Amon, I think that's how you would say his name. Hello, how you doing, sir? Christopher Hughes, evening, guys. Hope everyone is doing well. Mike Schaefer is with us. How you doing, Mike Schaefer? Good evening to you. Theodore Godgift, I believe. I think I'm going to go past his stuff. Anyway, you said Butch Reed started Google. Okay, where did this come from, guys? I've heard about it before. Jack, do you know?
What's that? No, I'm sorry.
Where Butch Reed started Google. Did he do that in an interview and say that he?
Maybe. I don't know. I hadn't heard that.
I'm going to have to look that up. I've heard that before. I didn't know Butch Reed started Google. Glenn Allen Shelton also said happy birthday to Ted DiBiase. Michael Barr said, Rodney, was there any match that you did like?
Yes, I did. I've said I liked the match with the Guerreros and in Rock and Roll Express. I thought that the Dirty White Boys and Tom Pritchard was very good. I thought Buddy Landell and Butch Reed had a decent match. I thought he could have gave Buddy a little bit more. But other than that, yeah, I even Terry Taylor's in that other match. You're right about that one. But other than that, I liked it all right.
Howard Lopez said, hello, good evening from New Mexico.
Oh, love me some New Mexico.
Glenn Allen also said, happy Martin Luther King Day. Theodore, there he is again. I got to remember not to put Theodore on.
Theodore, you're violating
Theodore.
You're right. The television van was illegally parked. I agree with you on that, Michael.
Yes, it was illegally parked. I agree with you. Kevin Finley say, hey, guys, I'd like to ask a question off topic. Did Gorgeous George become a touring attraction like Andre the Sheik Abdullah of the world champion? Yes, he did. Anywhere that he went, he drew a lot of money. Possibly changed the scope of the wrestling business. He really did change it, even though there was somebody that did that before he did it. He took it to the next level and became a major star and drew just by putting Gorgeous George on the card. Yep. Michael Barr said, double surfboard. What move is this? Jack, I'll let you explain that.
Well, it's like a surfboard, except two guys do it. Michael, you'll have to look. You'll have to watch the tape, and you'll see. It's brilliant, though. It's when you see it, you'll recognize the move. It's not an uncommon move, but it's the way they do it, the way they execute the finish is just perfect.
Jack, would you like to have that move? Jack, would you like to have that move put on you?
I never did have it put on me. I put it on a few people, but I'm a little hefty to go up that far in the air by myself.
Christopher Hughes said that he missed Gino Hernandez. What a loss. Yes.
Oh, man. Tremendous talent.
Bad luck, Brett. First time here. The show looks great. Thank you so much. We certainly do appreciate it. And certainly thank you for being a part of the show. We are on every Monday night, 7:30, Tuesday night, 7:30. We go live. And on YouTube, every day, a video is uploaded. Possibly not on Mondays and Tuesdays since we do the live show, but the rest of the time, 5 days a week, you will, the other 5 days, there will be a video that will be uploaded to there. Christopher Hughes said, I've been watching Buddy Landell in Mid-Atlantic 1985, and he was the top of his game. Buddy was awesome. Yeah, I agree with that. Buddy was. It was just at the time of Mid-South, it was time for him to leave. He wasn't, they had beat him so much, people didn't even really care that he was even out there.
And this would have been, to me, an opportunity for him to pull a little swerve, maybe a little tar and feather on Mr. Butch Reed, but that was not in the cards.
I think he was on his way out, so I get. Doug Masters is with us. Good evening,
hey, Doug.
Good evening to you, Doug. I think Doug still has a podcast that you can go and listen to. Let us know for certain, Doug, but I believe you still do. Michael Barr, Jack, you mean to say there's fake news out there?
That's what I've heard. I've seen a meme or two that said something about it.
Glenn Allen said congrats to Rodney West. Mickey Mayfield said congrats, Brent and Rodney, on your dad's induction to the Hall of Fame. Thank you so much, Mickey. James Casey also said congratulations, Ron West. Let's see. Colton Martin said, Jack, you running any promotions in Alabama?
Look up Wrestle South at WrestleSouth.com or Wrestle South on Facebook. We're not presently running, but as soon as all these restrictions are up, we are going to be running. Plus, I got some other cards up my sleeve, so I'm always involved.
Michael Barr said, congratulations to late Ron West. Please take pictures while someone is there. Yes, we will not only take pictures, but we will come live from there as long as there's a good internet service there. That's the thing. If there's not a good internet service, or at least our phones don't work there, we won't be going live. We'll just do
a brand new phone.
Well, I talked to the staff out there, and they said they would do whatever it took to make sure we got out. So,
all right, good. Kevin Penley said, that's great. Ron West going in. About time referees are recognized. Christopher Hughes said, congratulations, guys, on your father's Hall of Fame induction. Thank you so much, Christopher. Charlotte Woody. I know you guys are proud. Charlotte Woody, cousin of ours. Thank you so much, Charlotte. Daniel Lang said, the International Amphitheater in Chicago had a wrestling Hall of Fame. I always wanted to check it out as a kid, but never made it. Do they still have this?
I haven't heard of it. I don't know if it's still there or not.
You know, I understand you can, Jack Pfeffer, if you go to Notre Dame, he saved everything he ever did in professional wrestling, and it's there at the Notre Dame somewhere over there. We need to make a trip there and look at all that information. He kept everything. Also, He kept all the fake Buddy Rogers and all those people as well.
Yeah, we need to make sure I wear all my Alabama gear when we go. Love you guys.
James William Lawrence III, hello from Charleston, West Virginia. Great wrestling town, by the way, Charleston, West Virginia.
Tremendous.
Stuart Kemp said, hello, all glad to mention the PWHF. All should support both. The California, what is it? Not the what is that? The something.
Cauliflower Alley Club.
Yeah, thank you so much. I had it almost there. And they say your mind's the first thing to go.
Now they're also starting up the International Professional Wrestling Hall of Fame up in New York. So, we're getting more and more things added to recognize our history.
And that's good. That is good because so much of it is becoming a lost thing. Michael Bars, I have just learned how to become a supporter and will be supporting soon. And, we've had a lot of people, they've asked us exactly how to do that, how to become a supporter. And I'm gonna try to explain this as good as possible. When you go to the Facebook page, and if you've been to the Facebook page, it is at the become. I think it says become a supporter at the top of the page. Also, in the next few posts, I will put it down at the bottom of the post that we do, and you'll be able just to click on it if you want to support and do everything that it is part of as being a part of the supporters. And we also have posts that talk about that as well. Leo Burke had a great career in all promotions across Canada. Yes, and he was a tremendous wrestler.
Yes.
Kevin Skeleton, hello, new subscriber. Thank you so much. We certainly appreciate it. Been watching your videos for a while. Great show. Thank you so much. We certainly appreciate that.
Roll Tide there, Kevin. That's a war dang eagle there.
Stuart Kemp said, overall, a great class of Hall of Fame. Glad some are still living to see their inductions. Yes, I agree with that. Mike Schaefer said, I watched a match recently between Jack and Terry Gordy with your dad refereeing. Great match all the way around. That is available on our YouTube channel.
Yeah, that's from the Chattanooga Memorial Auditorium, the last wrestling show ever done at the auditorium.
By the way, one thing that we are going to do in the next few days, there's a match between Jack Lord and Terry Gordy, and there's been some comments on that, and I want to answer some of those comments, and I want to talk to Jack and Rodney about that. I just read over the comments the other day, and I certainly want to read over these and talk about what the people had to say on our YouTube channel about Terry Gordy. So I think it's something we can talk about and explain in detail. And that's what we're going to be doing in the next few weeks. Hey, Dr. Philbo Grice, he gave us an angry face for some reason. I don't know. What do we make you mad over? I hope we didn't make you mad. Cliff Torberson, good evening, guys. Good evening to you. Doug Masters did say he's got, he said, what is that? Speaker.com use Action VR Network. So if you get the opportunity, get over there and see Doug Masters' deal. Richard Hood said, congratulations to Ron West. Thank you so much. Robert Walker is with us.
Locking the microphones.
Yeah, we all have. We've all put some cash into microphones. We all have new microphones so we can sound good. Thank you. So, Robert, when we get in touch with you,
I stole my camera from Jack.
Well, it wouldn't work on mine. So,
Colton Martin, Jack, when you get it running, you need an announcer or a commentator. Never tried commentating, but I'm a good talker, so I am sure I could do it. Or he could manage, is what he said.
Just hit me up, buddy.
Kevin said, was Rodney's dressed as Miss Mascaras in Memphis doing the stretcher job?
Hey, funny note. Somebody, I can't remember who it was, Rudy Gonzalez shared a poster from South America yesterday. And if you think that Jack Pfeiffer is long gone, he must be coming back because they had Will Mascaras. Had the mask on, whole 9 yards, advertised him as the main attraction on the card, to which my comment was, well, if he doesn't sell, they'll never know the difference.
This is true. Mill didn't do much selling. Daniel Lang said the International Amphitheater was demolished in 1999. They had stopped wrestling about a decade or so before. Daniel Lang, thank you so much. He is one of our supporters as well. While I'm thinking about it, let me go ahead and throw something up here of some of our supporters, and I want to throw them up real. And thank you so much, Aaron Gartland. I think he's from Dothan, Alabama. Thank you so much, Stuart Kemp, Richard Hood, Daryl Glass, Dr. Philbo Grice, Victor Nash, and Daniel Lang. Thank each and every one of you for supporting us. It goes to pay for these microphones and his microphone, Rodney's microphone,
frames, and all kinds of stuff.
All kinds of stuff that we take care of and pay for.
I even bought my own cup.
Yeah, we don't get our t-shirts and stuff for free as well.
Oh, I bought my t-shirt should be here hopefully before too long.
Dr. Philpo said, great job as always. Thanks you for teaching us the roots. Jack is my father. I think he was the one that gave us an angry face for some reason. Hey, wait, what did we make you angry about, Dr. Philpo? Was it Jack? I know it wasn't me. It could have been Rodney. He turned heel on me.
Oh, it was Dr. Philbo Grice. That's who it was. He
Yes.
said down here it was an accident.
It was an accident, he says.
I've done that before. I was not on the program, and I was watching from Panama City during the, and I actually hit an angry face myself on the thing. I was like, man.
And me and Jackson wondered, what did Jack say again to make people mad? And we couldn't figure it out.
Michael Barr, Jack, Brent, Rodney, would it be a good idea to put up a wrestling hall of fame here in Georgia, Florida, Alabama area? Jack?
Well, that's something that I'm working on. I host the Southeast Wrestling Hall of Fame and get together every year. And, it's just a small get together now. We hope to build it up over time, but that's the ultimate dream.
Yeah, I think it would be great to have one right here in this area. Christopher Hughes, Terry Gordy was the best of all time. I will agree with that. And like I said, it'll be one of those. We don't get worked up a lot, but on this particular one, when we talk, we're going to look through the comments, and we enjoy all the comments, no matter what they are. Give your personal opinions of what you think. But that does not mean we won't speak about it and talk about it right here live on this program. And we are going to do that. That's coming up. So make sure you tell everybody if you heard about the Terry Gordy. And we're going to talk about Terry Gordy, Jack Lord match from Chattanooga, Tennessee, 1996. And it'll be an interesting program and an interesting segment.
Yeah, there's a lot to talk about. Just that whole day of filming and everything. There's so many stories from that time. I don't think I've ever had so much fun and been so tired at the same time.
This is true.
Tails off on that for sure.
Doug Masters says, thank you. Well, thank you so much, Doug. We certainly appreciate your Dr. Philpo said he hit that by accident. Kevin said there is a Mil Motras, man of 1,000 deaths. Now, is that the guy?
Mil Morte. Yeah, he's Ricky Banderas. He did that gimmick in Lucha Underground, and now he doesn't. It's a different type of gimmick. It is a mask gimmick, but it's not Mil Mascatis. But it's Ricky is. Oh, he's jacked. He's a great wrestler. He's coming to Texas here, not too few weeks, I think. Or some show. He lives in Mexico City, by the way.
I never realized that Mil Mascaris meant 1,000 masks.
Yeah, he'll sell them to you. That's the only selling he does. Here, buy my gimmick.
Let's see. Doctor. Robert said he finally received Dad's North American Georgia Tag Team belt. I will share that with everyone next time you do a Wrestling 2 show, and it is coming up, Robert.
All right.
Yeah, I can't wait.
It is coming up, so I'm just trying to get, putting this all together a lot of times takes a lot of time. I actually spend about 3 to 4 hours per day doing that. I also work, a regular job as well, 40 hours a week. By the way, my wife wanted to tell everyone that she watched the video today that was on YouTube about the program, the wrestling program. And she said, did you notice that your fingers was all nasty in this thing, and you can see it there in this thing when you're holding up the program. By the way, that is not dirt, that is ink. So there's ink on my fingers because that's what I do for a living. I'm a printer. So it wasn't nastiness. She wanted me to let everybody know that she does got soap and stuff here that I could wash my hands with, but that was built-in ink, and I still have a little bit still on my hands. So that's just the thing about printing. Daniel Lang, if you guys ever go to Notre Dame, let me know. I'm about an hour from there.
Wow.
I would love to go see all this stuff that Jack Shepard. He was a character. He was probably one of the most notorious promoters of all time. By the way, I wanted to say something real quick. We talked about Nick Busick the other day, and he was on World Championship Wrestling. I just found out that he was a part of a mob hit. And I'm thinking, wow. And that's just going to be, what is the show they have on Viceland? There's a show that they've done. It's all about wrestling.
Yeah.
They did one on the Road Warriors. They did one on a bunch of people.
Yeah, the name of the program just slips me, but their third season's fixing to start up.
It's fixing to start up, and I think that they're doing one on Brian Pillman. They're going to do, but there's going to show on him. I got to watch it. I didn't know that happened.
Like that. Yeah, that's what Bad Luck Brett said. It was Dark Side of the Ring.
Dark Side of the Ring. We've got to see this because I didn't even know this existed.
Yeah, I believe
part of a mob.
Now, Nick was a police officer in Atlanta for a while too. Nick was a great guy. He passed away a few years ago. Me and him were cigar buddies and friends for years.
Well, we have to go. We have to watch that because that's just a crazy thing. I didn't even know it existed. I think he, from what they said, he passed away a year after he got out of jail. He only spent 4 years.
Oh, you're talking about now that's Bruiser Bedlam.
Bruiser Bedlam, is that who that was?
Yeah. He worked in Smoky Mountain.
Oh, okay.
And
That's the guy.
Yeah.
Man, we got to see that. I've got to watch that. That's just crazy.
Yeah, he was a wild character.
Let's see. Michael Barr said Rodney's microphone and camera are stolen. We would get in trouble for stolen merchandise.
I can't attest to the microphone, but I gave him the camera. So.
Mark Edwards said, watching from Maine.
Awesome. Always wanted to go to Maine, not in the winter. So that leaves what, July?
Oh, Sean Goodwin said, I know Jack is a Bama fan, so hey, Jack, go Dogs.
Oh, that's funny.
Kevin said, is this the Hall of Fame that was in New York?
It is. They moved to Texas. I can't remember how many years ago it was, maybe 10 years ago now.
Well, if that my hand wasn't working or something. Bad Luck Brett said, I have to put Terry Funk as my greatest of all time. Worked so many styles and decades while staying relevant. Yes. Yeah, and very soon on the YouTube channel, we talk about Terry Funk very briefly, but we do talk about him Terry Funk was a tremendous wrestler. Michael Barr, Mil Mascaras was the man of 1,000 masks and also meant 1,000 masks. That's what Mil Mascaras means. Christopher Hughes, man, I bet those belts are awesome. We will be seeing them next time we do Wrestling 2 show, which is coming up.
I can't wait.
Yep.
Charles Alford. Charles, how are you doing? It is good to see you back on here. It has been a while. We was wondering where you're at.
Charles off air today.
Thank you so much, Charles, for being a part of our show. We certainly do appreciate it. Then he did say the Dark Side of the Ring. Rick Brooks, taking it all from Foulmouth, Kentucky. And Stuart Kemp also said Dark Side of the Ring. Michael Barr said cara in Spanish means face. Chris Vick, you remember me? Nice update on your guys' background. Thank you so much, Chris Vick. Thank you so much for coming back. It's been a while since we saw you. So thank you so much. Kevin Skelton, my first wrestling memory was Sterling Brewer, spectacular announcer in Birmingham, Alabama. On Saturday nights, 10:30, Channel 42 in Birmingham on a 13-inch black and white television. Oh, I love Sterling Brewer. That voice was tremendous. By the way, Kevin, there is a video you can go see, and I can't remember how you get to it, but there is a actual television match where Sterling Brewer doing the commentary, and I think it's Jerry Lawler and maybe Tojo against Jerry Jarrett and somebody. But you get the chance, try to look that up. I think you'll enjoy seeing that.
There's another one with Roughhouse and Jackie Fargo from there as well.
Yeah,
that one.
I think it was Roughhouse Fargo and Jerry Jarrett against Jerry Lawler and some masked man, the Red Shadow of the or some
might have been the Blue Shadow.
Well, the Red Shadow did wrestle there. Talmadge was a great guy. He passed away a few months ago.
Chris Vick says it looks cool. Well, thank you so much. Robert Ask said, "Did you watch the video?" Yes, I did watch the video. Yes, I did. I might have to share that video on here. It was from a wrestling show in Alabama, I believe. Yes, I think it was, and it could have been the show that was in Carrollton, or not Carrollton. What show did y'all go to? That didn't Wrestling 2 have a show, and didn't they have a show that?
Yeah, I can't remember the name of the town now. It's right outside of Atlanta, though.
Daniel Lang asked, "Red, did your wife ever see the video where your married baby died?" Yeah, she did. She watches all of these shows.
She knows he's like the rest of us. We can't get out of the house.
Stuart Kemp said Bruiser Bedlam, also Johnny K9 in Ontario and WF squash matches. Michael Barr, Roll Tide. So Robert Walker said Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame, they moved in 2016. Yeah. Dad and I were there in 2014. Richard Hood, I like all the dark side of the ring documentaries. They are good. If you've not watched them, make sure you watch them. Also, I watched something the other night, and it's a movie about Paige. Great movie if you're not seeing it.
Yes. There are several great documentaries on Amazon Prime. I watched one on Vampiro, which was, the language is pretty rough, but the story is really inspiring. All the things that he's gone through. And there's another one with Big Daddy Siki that's on there. So just some great ones. There's one with DDP that has just come out that I hadn't got to see yet, but I've got it bookmarked to watch here hopefully tomorrow.
Kevin said, Mr. Epps and the Clapping Monkeys, Saturday nights in Birmingham. What in the world are you talking about? You lost me there for a minute.
That might have been some kind of like shock theater where he played, these B horror movies, late night.
Yeah, we remember, what was it, Dr. Shock from
Dr. Shock?
Yeah, Dr. Shock.
Dingbat, I believe.
Dingbat, yeah.
Right.
Of course, we had Bob Bradley too. So
that's right.
Yes, we did. John Goodwin said, "Where's the Wrestling 2 show going to be?" We will do it right here live. I think we've done. If you go to our YouTube channel, if you've not been to it, you can go to it. And I think we've done maybe 2 or 3 or 4. I don't remember Wrestling 2 videos, and we chronic his career. I don't remember. Do y'all remember how many we've done?
We've done at least 3.
So we've done 3, so we'll do 4. So you can go back right now and go to our YouTube channel, look up Mr. Wrestling 2. I think it's in the playlist, and hit that up, and you'll be able to see all the videos that we've done up to this point. And we've shown a lot of great photographs, the grapplers when he was the grappler. Robert showed us the mask that he wore. He showed us a bunch of photographs of his father. Also, some good stuff. If you've not went and seen it, go to the YouTube channel. It's just great. It's just a great 2 or 3 videos that we've done, and I think they're long videos too. I think they're about 40 minutes, 45 minutes each one of them. But we had some good times talking to Robert, and we'll have even more as we continue talking about wrestling too. I won't say how. Let's move on to Michael Barr. Brent and Rodney, your dad refereed so many matches they cannot be counted, but his name is known by many fans. Thank you so much. Yes, he started in 1962 at the age of 14, so he got to be there. So he got to referee a lot of great matches. And after he got out of being a referee, he was a promoter. He was a booker, assistant booker. He promoted towns, he booked towns, and he did that for many years. He loved the wrestling business, no doubt. Kevin said, was it Tallapoosa High School that had the Wrestling 2 tribute?
No, they did a Ted Allen tribute, though, at Tallapoosa.
Oh, Kevin explaining this day. He said Mr. Epps was the Shirley Taft Epstein where you went to get Saturday night tickets. He had a commercial on Saturday nights on Channel 40, and he would wind up a monkey on it. Man, I want to see the commercial.
Yeah.
It's made me want to go check that commercial out. Mickey Mayfield said, all the Dark Side of the Rings are great. The other show, the wrestlers on Vice, are neat. It gives you a good idea of what it's like behind the scenes. And Michael Bard said, Mr. Wrestling 2 has some great matches on YouTube. Yeah, if you've not got over there to see some of them, they are some tremendous stuff. By the way, tomorrow night, we talk about World Championship Wrestling. Very interesting show. Very interesting show for World Championship Wrestling tomorrow night. But we come live 7:30. So join us here tomorrow night. Sean Goodwin said, yeah, I met Mr. Wrestling 2 at Fan Fest in Atlanta. He took about an hour and talked to my little girl. He was a great man. Wrestling 2 was a great man and a great wrestler. And possibly, I would think probably one of the greatest wrestlers that Georgia Championship Wrestling ever had.
Yeah, easily.
I think he drew more money than anyone in Georgia. Tim Woods drew a lot of money too prior to Wrestling 2 getting there. So you have to kind of give him credit because without a Mr. Wrestling, there would have never been a Mr. Wrestling 2. So we got to give Tim Woods credit. Christopher Hughes said, did your dad ever work Florida? No, he never worked for Eddie Graham. He did work Florida, but he only worked the Ron Fuller. Plus, he worked for the Fields prior to that. That was the first place he ever worked in the office for the Fields. And this would have been 1970, Rodney?
Right. Yeah, he just worked in the Panhandle.
But he never worked for Eddie Graham. Now he met Eddie Graham a lot, and Eddie Graham came to Atlanta a lot, but he never worked for him. Michael Barr said, where are the tapes from Southeastern Championship Wrestling? Anyone know? Well, they taped over for one thing. Yeah. Back then, that's what they did. They just taped over them. They would maybe keep them for about 4 or 5 weeks, and then they take this big old. It was like a big old magnet, and then it took them off of there, and they taped back over.
Nobody had the foresight then to know, what a demand there would be for it, in today's society.
Christopher Hughes said top 5 in Georgia easy. I agree with you. All right, folks, we're going to have to get off of here because here about 8:20, we've got to go to the supporter video where we just you can come over there and we're going to talk. We're going to go over today's wrestling, a little bit of what's going on today, and kind of give the people kind of an idea of what wrestling is, what's going on today. Also, we're going to talk Adrian Street. And these videos will eventually make it to YouTube, but it may be a week or two before they get there. But we're going over to the supporters, And all supporters, you can come over there and you can watch us continue doing the videos there. And we will hit Robert Walker said, I agree. Also some new video and that I have converted to digital from the 60s and 70s.
Wow.
For example, Wrestling 2 versus Gorilla Monsoon.
Wow.
Beautiful.
We got to get this on.
That's right.
We got a lot of stuff we're going to be doing this year, next year. So y'all,
yeah, there's a lot of stuff. We've got a lot of stuff planned, and so it's just being able to get to all of it and being able to get it all done. Michael Barr, thank you so much. We appreciate it. You being a part of our show each and every week. Jack, anything we need to talk about before we leave?
No, y'all need to get supporting us, and because we talk about some good stuff over there too.
And by the way, you get to see everything that we do, even in the in-betweens. And sometimes that's more interesting than, especially Rodney. Daniel Lane can tell you the Terry Taylor thing that he's talked about live right here is nothing the way he talked about him on the supporting page.
Mickey Mayfield asked which episode of WCW tomorrow. Mickey, I will have that on my Facebook a little bit later tonight.
I think it's September 14th, isn't it? Or yeah. September 21st.
Yeah, and we're approaching pretty soon where we're going to have to switch over to the WWE Network in order to get the shows.
Michael Barr said, "Does this include bloopers?" Well, we keep those in there anyway. So
that's right.
We never take them off. We don't do any editing.
No editing. There's no editing here.
Whatever happens. There's no editing. If it's messed up, it's just messed up. We found that people like that much better. It's we don't want to sanitize what we're doing. Wrestling never was sanitized in the territory days, and we're trying not to do that. All right, guys, we're going to have to get off of here because we do have to get over here and go to the supporter deal. It's supposed to be at 8:20. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. We certainly do appreciate you being a part of Pro Wrestling Inside and Out. We're almost to 18,000 insiders on Facebook. I think we're at 1,130 subscribers on YouTube, and we certainly do appreciate it. And don't forget, YouTube subscribing is absolutely free. Costs you nothing to do it. And almost every day you will get a new video every day uploaded. All right, thank you so much, and we'll see you tomorrow night. And for those supporters, we'll see you in just a moment. Thank you so much for being a part of Pro Wrestling Inside and Out.